Hello, I'm Sam Otten, and with me is Jason Book, and in this video we're going to be discussing Batman issue 41, written by Scott Snyder with art by Greg Capullo. They're continuing their run on Batman, which has been going on for now over 40 issues. This one's the new era of Batman in what DC Comics is calling Divergence. So we've got a new Batman. There are going to be spoilers here, so just a heads up, but we'll be talking about it freely. So just to lay things out, we had Batman falling with the Joker at the end of Endgame. And then through this convergence stuff that's kind of happening off to the side, and the Free Comic Book Day Divergence issue had 8 pages on Batman, where we see that Commissioner Gordon is actually getting tapped by this company called Powers International to become the new Batman. But now he's kind of like corporately sponsored and working in conjunction with the police force. And then that leads us into, or kind of ties together with Batman 41. So, Jason, in this issue, what do you think so far of the new Batman with James Gordon in the Bat robot suit?
Well, it had a lot to prove to me because I thought it was a bit of a gamble. I have to say I enjoyed it. It came out pretty strong. It's really kind of a character-driven issue, and which is great because if you're going to have somebody else being Batman and it looks way different and we know it's not the same Batman, it's really making it for a different story so far. And I like the little touches too, like it's not always going to be Jim Gordon in this mecha suit. We also got the cool scene where it was him in a similar kind of Batman outfit, being able to go and fight crime one-on-one, person-to-person. So I like that. As usual, the art was great, and there was a cool few moment grabber kind of things that set up what might happen that kind of made you go, oh wow, this is already going on. So I have to say I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was not that optimistic going into it, but then when I was reading the issue, I actually did enjoy it. I started thinking a little bit more optimistically about this story arc, which I guess they might be calling super heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So when Jim Gordon did come out of the big robot suit and he had the sleeker kind of bat suit on, I probably, like when I saw that panel, I imagined a lot of fans kind of sighing in relief and just realizing that, okay, not every action scene and everything has to be the robot bat suit. We can actually have him coming out like that as well.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense, right?
Another big thing that caught me kind of off guard was Bruce Wayne, or somebody who seems to be Bruce Wayne, at the very beginning of issue 41 and then at the very end of issue 41, with this person saying, you know, Bruce Wayne, thinking that he recognizes him.
Mm-hmm.
So if we presume that that is Bruce Wayne, what do you think about him coming back already in basically the first issue after Endgame?
Well, if it is Bruce Wayne, it seems really soon, but maybe it could be. I remember there was that character where, like from Hush, where he looked like Bruce Wayne a lot, and that's been in a few story arcs, so could be that or a case of mistaken identity. But if it really is Bruce Wayne already, it seems like they're kind of doing things backwards that they would in a normal arc like this. But I really have faith in this creative team to kind of keep us guessing, and hopefully they do something interesting with it.
Yeah, for me, I thought it seemed really soon as well, because I know in the story they say this is a few months after Endgame,
Okay.
but you know, from our perspective, this is literally the next numbered issue.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it seems pretty early to be already having him back. Until like, to me, it almost takes a little bit away from Endgame if he comes back so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems pretty chill, just kind of sitting there on the park bench. So
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about the things you're mentioning about how it might be like a look-alike or something like that. But I don't know. I guess I'm with you where this team has shown that they know what they're doing. They've knocked some really great stories out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with them, and I'm giving them definitely the benefit of the doubt. I'll probably give
Yeah.
them the benefit of like 3 doubts.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
my first reaction was like, wow, that seems really early to have him already showing back up. I mean, it's semi-confirmed, sort of, at the end of the issue, but he was actually in the first page of the issue. That was actually him kind of narrating.
True.
So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, it does make me curious next issue if they'll have that character again and if they'll give us any more information about it.
Yeah, and if they actually, it is just like oh, sorry, I thought you were somebody else. That's kind of a lame cliffhanger for these guys because they seem to be able to do a lot better than that.
Yeah, if it is a lookalike, I think it's going to somehow actually play into the story,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to use the lookalike in some way.
Yeah, which
or
is
if it is
cool.
Bruce, then they must have some kind of plan for how they're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on the whole thing? They try to be setting up this idea about Batman working with the police instead of kind of outside the law. I didn't really feel like it didn't really come to fruition in this issue, but they seem to be setting that up. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on that kind of theme that they might be exploring?
Well, they might kind of be doing something like they did at the end of the Nolan films, which is like the cops were kind of chasing Batman a lot of the films, and then they realized how much he did for the city after he was already gone, so they kind of changed their tune and put up the statue for him and all that kind of thing. So maybe they're realizing after he's gone is the city really needs Batman for all the crazy stuff that goes on, and decided that instead of all these imposter guys going out there, maybe if they're the ones to do it, they can kind of literally police it. So I think that's kind of cool, and I like the connection to Batman Beyond, because the Powers family is connected with the Batman Beyond cartoon as well.
Yeah, so speaking of powers, I mean, the way that they write this, it seems to be just this genuine goodwill that they think Batman is a very, useful figure, and so they want to have Batman back. But then I'm also thinking, okay, it's like Powers International, it's this corporation, so I'm wondering if through the storyline, if they're going to have any ulterior motives to bringing Batman back, or if it's just completely altruistic and they just think that this is a good thing to do for the city.
Yeah, I think they probably have ulterior motives, and if DC's kind of trying to make it like that Batman Beyond timeline actually exists, because they have done stories before digitally and whatnot, I could see them saying this would be kind of like their test run, that if this works, they can make whoever they want Batman and kind of control it and things like that. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. So do you have any sense of where this story arc might be going? Like, because in a way, this issue felt almost like kind of a standalone, where there was this one electric charged villain, and it got kind of taken care of by the end. And I don't think that the baseball player is actually going to be like a key to the overall story arc. So it almost was a standalone, but it's also, part one of this super heavy. So do you have any sense of where it might be going, or what the tension might be that rises?
To tell you the truth, I really don't, and that's something that I really like about this creative team. Like, we didn't even see that coming at the end of Endgame. It seemed a little too on the nose to think that Batman was actually going to die, and we're going to have a new Batman already. I mean, I had a sense of it because of the solicitations, but I really had no idea what was going on. And, these guys just keep us guessing, and it's always something interesting and worth reading. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, and I'm with you too, where I basically enjoyed this issue more than I expected to, and I don't really have a sense of where it's going, yet I am looking forward to the next issue quite a bit. So
Yeah, exactly.
all right, great. Well, we'll check back in when 42 hits the stands.
Sounds good.